Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today on another episode of the Soul Shook podcast. I'm Kimmy Malay, your host, and today we're going to talk about soul betrayal, darkness, kindness, and boundaries. How does it all tie in together? Well, it does. So we have a lot to dive in today because this is a big deal. These things are affecting us a lot more than I think most of us realize, and I don't think that the impact should be underestimated. And so today I'm going to help you identify how these things are blocking your path and hurting you. So let's start with kindness, because I'm a big advocate for kindness. Everyone's a big advocate for kindness, right? However, sometimes in the name of kindness, we can end up betraying ourselves. This is the soul betrayal. This is the boundary issues. So if you have porous boundaries, it's very easy to conflate that with kindness. Well, I'm just a kind person. I'm just, trying to help this person. I speak from experience. And it's great to want to help others, but they are not going to respect you if you don't respect yourself. We are constantly teaching others how to treat us. So treat yourself with self-respect, and they will treat you with respect. I think that for a long time, this also ties into trauma, childhood grooming. It gets pretty deep here, because if you have been groomed since the time you were a child to people please, this also ties in, then you're taught that you are responsible for other people. And this can be a really deep, difficult pattern to break. Because, it's just, you've been doing it your whole life. So I think it's just important to recognize that sometimes kindness isn't very kind. Sometimes it's robbing the other person of an important lesson and something that perhaps they should do on their own and are perfectly capable of doing on their own. Sometimes, in the name of kindness, we aren't honest. How many people have done that? I have quite a reputation for being honest, a little too honest, but I do see this to be something that is common to fall into. We all want to tell others what they want to hear because it feels good and it will keep us on their good side. And so, going back to this childhood trauma thing, the people-pleasing part oftentimes it comes from a narcissistic parent who was unpredictable, who was scary, and the child learns that to befriend the beast is what I call it. That is the safe side. The safe side is to befriend the beast. And it sounds counterintuitive, but the child learns from an early age how to kind of manage their moods and tell them what they want to hear, do what they want you to do. In essence, it's becoming a slave to someone else's ego. And we can take this with us for a long time. And, I did this in trying to belong to friend groups from the time I was a kid to just people pleasing. But because of who I am, I would find that I wasn't very happy or fulfilled, so I would oscillate. And then that kind of got me in trouble. It was like I would sort of start off trying to people please, which is essentially being fake, right? But I didn't realize, it was just coming from this desperate place of wanting to belong. And then I would realize that I wasn't respected. Well, I wasn't respected because I didn't have any boundaries. But once you've kind of done that, and then you try to establish your boundaries later, it takes a lot of effort, like a lot of effort because you've kind of already shown these weaknesses, and then now, others aren't respecting that. And it takes a while to be able to come back from that and some real dedication. So this caused a lot of problems for me in my life. And I grew up with this sense of being responsible for everyone and everything, for their moods, for what happens to them, for the outcome of their court dates, to the outcome of their addictions, of the path they're on, to their breakup, their recent breakup, managing their moods. I found myself always needing to people please and feel responsible for everyone and everything. And I was betraying my own soul, which caused a lot of depression, because when you aren't being true to yourself and you know it, it hurts. And that hurt is there to notify you, to put you on notice that something is wrong. And so I think it's important to pay attention to kindness and ask ourselves, am I being kind or am I betraying my own soul? Am I being kind or am I robbing someone else of the opportunity to learn a valuable lesson, to do something that they are very well capable of handling themselves? So pay attention to the kindness and where it is taking you, because sometimes if you can't say no, that kindness can take you down some dark paths. I have heard some crazy stories in the name of kindness and how it's ultimately hurt people. So I came up with a new gate. What was it called? There was the 4 gatekeepers, right? It was, is it kind? Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it necessary? Well, I have a new one. We're going to get rid of the kind part. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it necessary? Because that kind piece can get us into some trouble. And I think we need to use those other 3 gatekeepers when it comes to kindness. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it necessary? So I've seen this going around for a while, and I'm a huge advocate for kindness. The world needs more kindness. But we need to be aware that it can be a blocker. It can block our path. It can truly derail you so quickly and cause you to betray your own soul. If you really aren't paying attention, it can affect your goals. So stand in your truth and be aware that darkness is everywhere. And when I say darkness, essentially to me, darkness is anything that causes you to betray your own soul. Darkness is temptation. Darkness is alluring. It's wrapped up in pretty packaging and bows. But pretty things aren't always good things. So just keep that in mind. And keep in mind that you need to be kind to you first. Are you being kind to you? Are you doing what's right for you? Mostly. Are you doing what's right for your soul? Are you agreeing to things that align with your values? Because if they do not align with your values, then we need to work on your boundaries. So this is something I still struggle with today. So don't think that I'm like over here, preaching about this thing that I've perfected. Nowhere near. We're learning together. But in the process and just knowing how important this is, and that I'm not alone, and that there's so many people who struggle with this, and especially empathic people, those who've encountered child abuse, lots of trauma in the past. And don't let the desperation to belong, to be accepted, to be loved, overpower what is right for you and your soul and your path. That's all I have to share with you today. So thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this content, please gently press the like button and keep coming back, because I love having you around. So have a blessed day, and until next time.